Hello and welcome to GadgetGuideUSA. Thanks for watching my Rollibot Rollicool COOL100 product review and install video. If you guys are subscribers, you know that last year I bought a COOL100 and did a full product review including an install. Today I'm basically remaking the video because I got a new Rollicool. I broke it out for my Memorial Day camping trip. And of course it didn't work. I contacted Rollibot at rollibot.com via live chat, which last year they didn't have, and they got me a prepaid label. Took about 8 business days, and I got a replacement unit. They didn't repair it, and the sweetest part is they gave me kind of an upgrade. Now it's a Rollicool COOL100 with heater. I'm not really that interested in the heat function myself. To be honest, I don't even need this unit at all, simply because I moved and I no longer have a use for a portable air conditioner. However, I am happy that they gave me essentially a free upgrade. So everything that came with the Rollicool is here. I'm not going to do an unboxing because I already threw the box away. I really wasn't planning on doing this video, and I thought since Rollibot was so cool about everything, and for the record, I did not identify myself as a Z-rate YouTube star either or anything like that. I just asked them for a prepaid label. They sent it, and they took care of everything very professional actually. So what you see here is everything new that came in the box minus the packing material. Of course, we have the Rollicool COOL100 now with heat. We have the vent, and that's made to go into the to connect the window, to the window unit. And then we have this window kit here, which is essentially made to close the window on, and we'll get more into that as I actually do the install. And the little tips and tricks that I found that for the instructions may not have been very clear. We have our manual, and we're going to go over that really quick. We have this little plug, and it came with 2 parts. You can see this is adhesive together. I should probably stop peeling that apart. This is a little adhesive spacer, and this is a little plug, and that's for draining, to slide into the drain, and we're also going to go over that as I do the install. Basically, you just replace the drain plug with this, screw the drain plug back in, and then connect that hose right there, and then you can drain it. This is only about 2 feet long. For a lot of applications, and for those of you draining, this probably isn't going to do it. But one little trick that I found for the drain is that if you take a regular garden hose, I'm talking like I just have a cheap garden hose. I went to a local big box store and bought literally the cheapest garden hose I could. One benefit to that is actually the garden hose slides perfectly and nice and tight over that, creates an airtight seal. The metal got in the way, so I just snipped the hose. It was a cheap hose, and I just slid the hose perfectly over it. So if you need to extend this, I would recommend just using a cheap garden hose. Another little trick is that you can actually go buy this exact same hose with the exact same dimension at any, like home improvement store, and you can buy it really cheap. So if you really need to extend it, you can go buy a new few yards, slide a garden hose over it. You got a lot of options there. It comes with a screw. And I'll show you during the install what that is for. And basically it just locks this unit into here. You see these slides here, so you basically just take it, lock it in there, if you put it the right way, lock it in there, and then that little screw screws through there after you lock it in. So I never really use the screw because I can put the air conditioner like in my tent and things, but at the same time, if you have a bunch of kids running around that can pop out, this screw totally prevents it. It comes with the remote control, and in truth, I just put the batteries in this just for this review. I've never actually used this a single time outside of testing. One thing to know, it is infrared, and you have to point the remote directly at the front. There's actually an infrared receiver right here where I'm pointing in the front. So for example, if you have it back here and you're trying to turn the power on, well, actually it did work. Amazingly enough, it does work. It shouldn't have worked. You should have to point it directly at the unit. I guess since this room is semi-empty, this is actually my VR room. I'm converting into a studio, so it was empty so I don't kill myself tripping over things. But at the same time, the remote is there, it has all the functions, and we'll kind of go over those really quick, as quickly as possible. We have the manual, and I'm going to get that a little bit closer. So we have the Rollicool portable AC with heater. The heater is an upgrade. In addition, the other thing I have out here is this is an Amazon Alexa Dot. I actually went and bought this for $40 just because the Rollicool now features Alexa skills, so you can control it with your voice. I don't have it set up because part of the setup process, I'm basically going to go over the basics. We're going to set up the app, we're going to set up Alexa, and then we're going to actually install it in a window. And this is going to be a long video. I'll try to get it done as quickly as possible. Alexa is not required to run the unit. However, it's really neat to be able to control your air conditioner with your voice. You know, Alexa set it to 66 degrees. Really handy. So I was really impressed with the both the free upgrade to the heater, in addition, the addition of Alexa skills, and they've also made some app improvements, and we'll go more over that. Let's start with the manual. All right, it says, welcome to the new age of cool. Yeah. Okay, but a little cringy, but can't blame them, I guess. Has a manual, safety warnings, don't you know, operate it underwater, don't pour gasoline in it, I guess. So we have some FCC information, disposal, don't really care. It goes over the contents, pretty much what I said. It tells you about the 3 air filters. And it does have 3 air filters. It has 2 wire filters and 1 odor removing carbon filter. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out of the unit now. Just to note, all the filters are washable except this one. This is a carbon filter. If you hear that shaking, these are actually teeny tiny carbon beads. I doubt my camera is gonna get it, but you can actually see it. They're just small carbon or charcoal beads that are made to reduce odor. So, well, I mean, it's not gonna be like, oh my God, it's still neat. The last one I had, I actually washed this one and it turns to black goo. So one lesson I learned is do not wash this. The other ones can be washed. And we'll go more into that in a few seconds. Comes with the accessory pack, the remote control, everything I just showed you. As a control, okay, so don't care about any of that. Once again, it gives you a diagram, a breakdown. It shows you how the buttons work. One thing is this has 4 modes. So I'm going to turn it on. It has air conditioning mode, dehumidifier mode, which you can tell with the DH and the 3 little dots there. So it just says DH, that means it's dehumidifying. Then we have fan only, and then we have heat. One thing that I do have a complaint about is that Alexa can't change modes, but we'll get more into that when I'm going over the Alexa. So when I say it can't change modes, if you set it to heat, and then say set the temperature to 66 degrees, it will not, the air conditioning will not automatically come on. And my guess is they did that to prevent like an endless cycle of it gets too cold, then the heat turns on, then the air conditioning turns on, but oh well. So we go over the display icons, cool, dehumidify, fan, heat, full. There's one important thing directly below the temperature gauge where it says 74, there's a small beaker symbol, and that beaker symbol means empty it of water. I've never actually seen that symbol, but at the same time, air conditioners, once they fill with water, they'll stop working. So then it has a timer mode, and the timer is just, you can set it to turn on or off in 1 hour. It's not a smart timing feature, meaning if it's off, you set the timer for 1 hour and it's off, it'll turn on in an hour. If it's on, it'll turn off in an hour. And then there's sleep mode. I don't really use sleep mode. All it does is, first, it only works in air conditioning and heating, and it just keeps the fan on low. And that's to prevent the fan from getting really loud while you're asleep, I guess. Doesn't bother me. I'm gonna go over the remote control, has everything you want. You can turn it on. You can change the temperature, of course. You can turn the timer. This right here is, I don't know, let's find out. Okay, that's the mode button. So this top right is the mode button. That's the fan control button. That is the oscillate button. And you can see that these move. If you set it to oscillate, it'll move like this, you know, to increase airflow. If you have it set oscillate off, it'll just stay wide open the whole time, just like that. And then we have the sleep mode, and then we have Celsius to Fahrenheit. It should be noted that the app and the remote control have a sleep mode, but this main unit does not. In order to put it in sleep mode, you have to push the fan button and up arrow at the same time. Yeah, there we go. That's what it is. So to put it in a sleep mode using this, you just push fan and up at the same time. And then you can change it between Celsius and Fahrenheit. We're Americans, we use the foolish Fahrenheit system, so go ahead and stick with whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, then it gives you the remote overview. It tells you the window kit parts and the installation. And now we're getting into the installation. So the installation guide is really simple. It's only 2 pages, and I do have one complaint. If you buy a Rollicool, you'll see step 1 and 2. It's kind of confusing, and it only covers just basically locking this in. So instead of following those confusing directions, which I did not understand, this is how I'm going to recommend you put this in. And what this does is tighten the window kit to a certain distance to fit your window. So instead of following the directions, just skip step 1 and 2 and do this instead. Unscrew this. So just basically, you got this, leave the washer on it, slide that all the way in, flip it over, push it through, hold it straight, and then just slide that right back on. And then just kind of wiggle it until you get your window kit there, just like that. It's nice and tight. And now, we're just gonna go ahead and put this on. So right now it's adjustable, but once we set it to the size of the window we need, we're gonna tighten that down, and that's just so it won't move anymore. Since I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it just like that, and then we're gonna install that in the window shortly. Okay, so we went over that, and there's the install directions, and we're gonna install it here in one moment. The next thing is the wireless setup, and basically I've erased everything from my phone, and we're gonna do a complete blank setup of Alexa, we're gonna do a blank setup of Rollicool, and then we're gonna add Rollicool skills, and then we're gonna install the air conditioner. It's gonna go really smoothly. So this tells you how to use the Rollicool, has cool mode, dehumidify, so I've already went over that, and then the timer, shut off time, sleep mode, so there's nothing really else in here important. It tells you how to clean the filters, and that is actually really important. So keep actually turning this on. So we have this, that basically, you can see this back here. You basically just slide that off. This is where the carbon filter was that I removed. You remove that, and there's 4 screws that you would have to remove to clean the wire filter. I do suggest you clean the wire filter often. Airflow is very important for the air conditioner, so if you don't get appropriate airflow, you will not get appropriate cooling. And then here is the wire filter. This is very similar to the wire filter that's hidden by 4 screws that I'm not going to take out. But basically, I just pull this out, I run water over it, both sides, and then I just kind of wipe it off, make sure it looks nice and clean, and then let it keep, let it keep cooling. Make sure it's completely dry before you put it back in the air conditioner. You can see this one's pretty cool. I've only ran this unit since I just got it, a week before Memorial Day. I've only ran it for about 10, 12, 14 hours or whatever it was while I was camping. So the filter is actually relatively clean still. So I also secretly, I kind of cleaned it up before this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and, that just locks right back in. It's really easy. Basically just toss the filter right in, lock it right down. So it's really simple. So now we're just going to go over the body. I'm going to toss the air conditioner up on this table. Then we're going to do the install in the window, and then we're going to go ahead and go over the app. All right, and here we have the very back of the unit. This is what I showed you earlier. We have the carbon filter, and then we have the 4 screws. Just remove those 4 screws, clean it, and replace it. Make sure it's dry. Behind this filter is the cooling fins. You want to be really careful. You don't want to smash down on those. Everybody's seen those fins that get bent. That negatively affects your cooling. So that's where the carbon filter goes. It basically just sits there, and then if you mount it in the right direction, it just very easily locks back in. So you have your 1 filter there and your carbon filter. You have your 2nd filter here, and these are your 2 drains. The instruction manual, of course, instructs you to drain out of this drain. Let's slide that up. The instruction manual tells you to drain out of this drain, which is the top drain. I really don't do that. I'm not sure why they say to use out of the top drain, but at the same time, very little water came out of here. Maybe if you use it more often, the top drain might be better. I'm not really sure. Every time I've drained it out of this bottom drain, and it seemed like more water came out. Not really sure about the difference and don't really care. But to use this drain plug, or to use this drain system, the one that included the little sticky filter, you basically just, when it's plugged, this plug goes into the drain and then this screws down over it. To drain it, to get the water out, you basically just flip this around so it's sticking out like that, slide the hose over it, and then screw it right on. There we go. And now you could be draining it. Like I said, if you need an extension, you can buy a longer one of these or just slide a garden hose over it. It works fine. One important thing is don't lose this plug or this plastic cap. Without them, it will leak constantly. So very important that you keep hold of the drain. This right here is a plug holder. You can see it just, it's It's made to just hold the cord. You can just take the cord and set it up so when you're rolling it around, the cord doesn't get in your way. It still kind of stays in your way. Also to note that it does have caster wheels, so it's really easy to roll around, and that actually increases the portability. One thing to note is I took it camping. These tiny wheels do not roll well through grass at all, so I know I shouldn't have expected that at all. But at the same time, let's go ahead and get on the physical install. All right, welcome back. For this step, we're basically just going to be installing the window kit into the window, and all you're going to need is the window kit itself, the accordion style heat exhaust, a screwdriver, and the screw they included with the Rollicool for locking it in. Don't worry, I think if you lose the screw, you could use any screw, so no worries there. We're going to go ahead and start by opening the window. Pretty simple. You're just going to want to open the window. You don't need to open it all the way. Sorry about the noise. It's a wonderful Friday afternoon, so all of my neighbors are mowing their grass. This is still loose, so you can fit it to the exact window. Remember, this is loose. We're just going to go ahead and slide it right in the window. We're going to extend it, and I'm going to try to pull it tight. You don't have to, but I actually try to put pressure on that and then tighten it that way, and that'll actually give you a better seal. It's not going to seal so great. This is one step that I do recommend, something that's not included in the box, and that's a little bit of weather stripping. I don't have any weather stripping here, but at the same time, it can be bought from a big box hardware store for really cheap. Basically, what you're just going to do, it's kind of foam-backed or adhesive-backed foam, and you're just going to kind of tape the foam here and close the window. I would also suggest putting one layer on bottom as well, and that'll give you a nice airtight seal and make sure that the air conditioning that you're paying for isn't sliding right back out the gaps. Once again, it's not absolutely required, however I would recommend it. So once I have it nice and tight in there, there's no motion, I tighten that screw down, and I'm going to go ahead and close the window. That was easy. And then you're just going to go ahead and grab this heat exhaust. You can see these 4 gaps. You're just basically going to slide them right in the gaps and slide them over to the side. Hopefully you're more coordinated than I am. Alright, now that's in there. You just want to lock into the 4 gaps and slide it over. Then you're just going to take this screw and you're going to slide it in through, and that should go ahead and keep it nice and tight. The screw is optional. However, if you're in an area that's chaotic and there's lots of kids running around, if they slide it over, it'll fall out. You don't want that happening, so we're just going to go ahead and drop this screw as deeply as possible. And now we have a nice lock. Yeah, and that's not going anywhere, so we like that. And basically, this end is just going to connect to the Rollicool. You've already installed the window kit. We're done. Okay, I haven't done anything crazy. You can see it's still the vent staying off. I'm basically just trying to connect the Rollicool exhaust vent. So I'm just going to pull it out the accordion. You don't have to pull it out all the way or anything, but at the same time, you're just going to see these locking rings. There's 3 locking rings here. You're just going to slide it in and twist. If you look right here, it even tells you unlock this way, lock that way. So we're just going to go ahead and get it in there. And we're going to push it towards the lock direction, which is counterclockwise. Now it's nice and locked in there. And literally we are done installing it. It didn't take long at all. Go ahead and plug in the unit. I don't have grounded plugs in here. Just go ahead and plug in the unit, and now we're done, and we are ready to cool. Turn that temperature way down. Make sure the mode is set to cool. Turn the temperature down. 14,000 BTUs of nice cold air. Okay, now that this room is a frigid 66 degrees, we can go ahead and get started with the app process. As you can see here, this is just a test phone I have. It's a Note 4. I use it for TV remote control and things like that. We're just going to go ahead and get started. Now you're going to have to set up your Amazon Alexa if you've never set it up before. It's actually quite easy. You're just going to go to Alexa. You're going to try to set it up and it's going to tell you need to set it up. You're going to go to settings, you're going to try to select the Echo Dot, and the Echo Dot, I have it muted right now, so every time I say Alexa it doesn't talk, but it'll have an orange spinning circle. Actually, let's just go ahead and go through setup. You just basically have to hold this button for 5 seconds. You see this orange circle spinning around.
In setup mode.
And then I guess it tells you it's in setup mode.
In your Alexa app.
So then you just click Setup New Device, and it'll step you through it. It's actually a really easy process. You're going to select whatever you have, an Echo Plus, and then you're going to go into your Wi-Fi settings. And when you find it, it'll be Amazon-something. Mine is Amazon-1QS.
Your Amazon Echo Dot is ready for setup. Just follow the instructions in your Alexa app.
So you're just going to click on Amazon 1QS. You're going to connect to it just like it's a Wi-Fi. This is emitting a Wi-Fi signal. You're going to go back to your app.
Go ahead and finish the setup in your Alexa app.
And then you're just going to go through the setup. I don't want to make any changes, but basically you're just going to click Wi-Fi network, and you're going to have to connect it to a Wi-Fi at your home. My Wi-Fi is named GadgetGuideUSA, so basically you just click Connect to Wi-Fi. It tells you to make sure you have the orange ring, and then you're going to have to set it up. I don't want to set it up, so stop.
You've connected to Echo Dot.
There we go.
Go ahead and finish the setup in your Alexa app.
I don't want to connect. All right. So I don't want it to change anything. I just want it connected back to my original internet. Once you have the setup, it'll say Amazon Dot is connected, and then you're going to go back to connect to your regular Wi-Fi. The next thing we're going to do is set up the Rollicool app. Before you can set up the Amazon Alexa skills, we need to set up the Rollicool app. You can get both the Amazon Alexa and the Rollicool app from the Google Android store, and also from the iTunes or whatever the Apple store is. I'm not going to lie, I've used the Rollicool app on iOS last year one time for the video and then haven't used it since. But we're going to go ahead and click on Rollicool. That's what you're going to get after you download it. And you can see I have no devices. It's because I've erased everything. So let me go ahead and restart. I don't want you in setup mode. Okay. So then we're just going to click Add Device. Pretty simple. Click to Add Device. One thing that's strange about the Rollicool app is you have to have both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on the phone in order to connect it. If you don't have Wi-Fi, I don't know what to say. So we're going to go ahead and click to Add Device. You can see my GadgetGuideUSA internet, and I'm going to pull the phone away, and then you're just going to type in your Wi-Fi password. Of course, I don't want you to know my Wi-Fi password. And then you're going to click Next. That's all I did was type in my password and click Next. It tells you to be within 30 feet. We're going to click Next. And now it's going to show a device. If you're setting up more than one Rollicool, I would suggest turning them on one at a time. Plugging them in one at a time. So plug in one, set it up, plug in the next one, because you can actually change it to the custom name. So I'm going to click Cool310, which is I actually have a Cool100, the 310 and all those are just random numbers, I guess. So I'm just going to wait for it to connect. Alright, add successfully. Tough verbiage there, but now we're actually ready to control the Rollicool device. So you can see it's online, so it's connected to the internet, the AC is off, it is set to cool, and it is currently 73 degrees. It was 66 when I started, so I guess the 1,000 watts of light that I have are heating this room up fast. So you can see all the settings here. You can switch back and forth between Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connection. They both work fine. Bluetooth is only good for 30 feet, while Wi-Fi will work everywhere that you have internet connection. So I always use Wi-Fi. My entire house is so wired with Wi-Fi that I get great signal everywhere. So some of the things we can do, of course, turn it on and off. I don't want to turn it on because it might affect my sound. You can turn the cool. You can turn Dehumidify on, which just removes moisture from the air. You can set a schedule, which is just the on or off, and then set hours, so you can turn it on in 1 hour, off in 1 hour, and I'm not sure how many hours it goes up to, so looks like there's lots of settings, up to 23 hours. So you can control it up to 23 hours in advance. Sleep mode only works when, of course, the unit is on, or heat and cool only. Sleep mode doesn't work for Dehumidify. I'm guessing because it's not that loud. Then you have fan. So if you click fan, it's a fan only. It's just moving air. Oscillate is the vents on top will move if you set it to oscillate. If you have oscillate off, it'll just stay wide open. And then of course you can select heat. At the bottom of the app, you can select the fan, low, medium, or high. So when you're on cool mode, let's go ahead and turn it on. Okay. So when you're on cool mode, you can go ahead and set the fan to high, medium, or low. The air conditioner is literally blowing directly into my microphone, so it's probably loud. I'm sorry about that. Let's go ahead and turn it off. But setting up the Rollicool app is that easy, and we've just went over all the features. You can click more, and you can rename the device, or you can share the device. And sharing the device, I have not tried, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm a pro. But I'm calling mine New Air in honor of it being a new air conditioning unit that Rollicool sent me to replace it. One thing to note is they replaced it because they have a 1-year warranty, and I bought it on Amazon. I'm not sure. Well, I guess, yeah, they have a 1-year warranty, so that's good. Alright, so I've renamed it to New Air, and that's going to be important later because Alexa is going to answer to whatever I say. Alexa, what should I do with this dead body?
If the death is expected, call the police non-emergency number and a funeral home of your choice. For an unexpected death, call 911. Okay, so Alexa does have a lot of Easter eggs. I admit I've spent way too many hours just asking it strange questions to see what it says. But at the same time, let's go ahead and set up Amazon Alexa. So of course we've already connected. Every time it says Alexa, it's going to listen, so I'm going to go ahead and mute it. But we're just going to go ahead and click on Amazon Alexa. We've already set up the Wi-Fi. It's already ready. It knows what to do. So we're going to, this is actually the screen you start on, which is the center voice command. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to click on these 3 bars up here. We're going to click on Smart Home. Then we're going to click on Your Smart Home Skills. Before we can add a device, we have to add the skill, and it's Rollicool. So first we're going to have to enable Smart Home Skills. Then we're going to search for Rollicool in the Alexa app. There it is, Rollicool Procom Products, and you can see this little symbol. Below it says Alexa turn on plug. I'm guessing that they just named their air conditioning unit plug, and we're going to name it whatever we want to. So then we're just going to click enable. And then I'm going to have to put in my Rollicool account name and password. I don't want you to see it, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my screen away. After putting in my name and password for my Rollicool account, it's going to say Amazon Alexa will be able to blank. I'm going to go ahead and click authorize. I'm using my thumb to hide the fact that my personal email is there. So all I did was click authorize, and now it says your Rollicool has been successfully linked if it stops screen flipping. What to do next? Close this window to discover smart home devices you can control with Alexa. So we're just going to go back. Alright, now you can see in our smart home skills we have Rollicool, so that's good. So now that we have Rollicool skills added, we're going to go ahead and click Discover Device. Alright, so you can see that it's already named New Air. That's because it took the name that I named it in Rollicool. That's why I said we need to change the name. Of course, I changed mine to New Air. You can change yours to bedroom, garage cooler, I mean, really anything you want. I wouldn't name them all similar names because Alexa does get confused. Like if you name one air, 2 air, 3 air, 4 air, Alexa gets a little bit confused. So I would name them something distinct like dining room, living room, bedroom, garage, or name one AC in the other bedroom, or however you want to control it. So now that we can see New Air there, we're just going to go ahead and click on it. Waiting for Rollicool, we can change the temperature to whatever we like. Then we can also click on Edit, and we can, you can see I turned it on somehow. But you can click Edit Name, and you can actually have Alexa name it whatever you'd like. Okay, now that we have our air conditioner added to Alexa, we can give it all the commands we want. Alexa, turn on New Air. Okay.
Alexa, turn off New Air.
Okay.
Alexa, set New Air to 66 degrees.
New Air is set to 66.
Alexa, turn off New Air.
Okay.
Just in case you do have 2 units or you want to name it, have 2 names, you can actually go to groups and set it up into groups. You see I have a series of groups set up here, and that was for my advanced testing of not just the air conditioner, but a couple other Alexa enabled devices I bought. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to bedroom, and let's actually make a new one. Let's erase studio. Alright, now we're going to make a new one. So we're just going to click on add group. I'm going to call it studio. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click next. And then I'm going to select the devices to add to my studio. This is important. You may put new air in your studio and you may put a different device in your bedroom. And then you may put them both in the home group. So you can control them independently by calling them bedroom, living room, or you can control them both at the same time by calling them home. So I only have one device I'm adding, so I'm just going to add new air to studio and I'm going to save. It's that simple. Now I can say, Alexa, turn on studio. Alexa, turn on studio.
Okay.
Alexa, turn off new air.
Okay.
So you can see now that with the app, it responds to both the group that I put it in as well as the name. So if I had 2 air conditioners and I put 2 air conditioners under home, I could say, Alexa, set home to 65 degrees, and it would set both air conditioners to 65 degrees. And that's convenient. There's other things you can do with Alexa, including routines, but I'm not going to go too deeply into that. Also, I'm still playing with it, so I'm not a master of it yet. But at the same time, that is the way to set up the Rollicool COOL100 14,000 BTU portable air conditioner for both the Rollicool app and Amazon Alexa. As always, if I missed anything or you have any questions regarding how to set up Amazon Alexa or Rollicool for your Rollicool air conditioner, you can always email me at GadgetGuideUSA@gmail.com. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap it up today. I do appreciate you watching my Rollibot Rollicool COOL100 product review, install video, and I guess app installation. Overall, I'm very pleased with the Rollicool. I admit that I'm not going to leave it set up in here. I have central heat and air, so I don't have too much of a use of a portable air conditioner now. I did last year when I bought it, and to be frank, it was an absolute lifesaver. If you don't have air conditioner, that one air conditioner just makes the hugest difference. But overall, I've been really impressed. It blows cold, frigid air. I guess earlier I said that it was about 50 decibels. That's probably about right, but it does get a little bit loud, as you could probably tell while it was turning on and blowing directly into the camera. But it is an air conditioner unit, so I'm not going to fault it too much for that. Some of the complaints I have, which I always have a complaint about everything, there's nothing that's perfect. One is the caster wheels don't go through grass and mud very well. I guess that's a petty complaint. The second one is the lack of modability. So if you have it set to air conditioning mode all the time, like I would, it's not really that big of a deal. However, if you're planning on using all the other modes, including fan, dehumidify, and heat, the Alexa skills simply won't change the air conditioner. The commands that you have are pretty much turn on Rollicool, or turn on whatever you name the device, turn off whatever you name the device, and set temperature of new air to 66 degrees, or set temperature of home to 66 degrees. So you do have access to those commands, and those are the commands that I use every day. Like I said, I don't use the other modes. So if you're just somebody that's going to have the heat on in the morning and have the air conditioning on at night, just be sure to set it to cool before you need to. Another thing to note is that it does work online, so you can actually set the temperature of your air conditioner from home. Using your Rollicool app, and that's because this is actually connected to Wi-Fi. The Rollicool customer support last year was perfectly fine via email. Took about a day to respond or so. Now they have live chat at rollibot.com, and so far I've been really impressed with the speed and efficacy of the support they gave me, including giving me essentially an upgrade because mine broke. To be fair, the reason it broke is because I left it in a shed all winter at -5 degrees. So I really don't fault them for breaking. I really didn't expect them to replace it or repair it, but at the same time they did. Overall, I really like this air conditioner. I paid $400 for it last year. I don't know what the new price is. The price may have went up since they added heat, but you can check Amazon. They also have it at rollibot.com as well as their live chat. And you can also email them at support@rollibot.com, which I believe, please check that because I used that email address last year, I'm not sure. But overall, I really like this air conditioner. The upgraded app that they have this year is good. The Amazon Alexa skills are fantastic. In addition, they actually offer customer support that is not absolutely worthless, and I really respect that. So I really do appreciate you watching my video today. As always, please go in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe. Like my video, comment, share, do anything you want. If you have any questions regarding the setup of the Rollicool, you're having any problems, or you have any issues setting up the app, you can always email me at GadgetGuideUSA@gmail.com. Thank you for your time.